like?
Oh man, just the whole opening in the first place.
Yeah, man.
We fucked everything up, man. That's how you learn, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's how we learn as human beings. We make mistakes and we learn from them and we grow from them.
Take us through the process.
Oh,
from
man.
developing the business plan to finding the location to getting the capital to make it happen. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we had this idea. We left Frank's. We left Luca. There was a really divey bar called the Lancer Lounge, and we opened up in the back of that in the very beginning to proof of concept, right?
yeah.
So we were actually crushing it out of this crazy little dive bar in Denver. Lots of deliveries. People were loving it. There was a buzz going around town. But we knew we had to get out of there. We needed our own space.
But that's perfect, dude. A lesson right there. I think people all the time, especially people if they have some money behind them, they go for their dream concept out the gates.
Yeah.
And you got to test it. Proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
Pop-ups, right? Like
Pop-ups, try to find a restaurant that's closed a couple days a week, do a food truck.
Or a bar
do
that doesn't have any food,
or
right?
a bar. Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, you gotta make sure that, it's going to work.
So what advice do you have for somebody who's looking for a space to do a pop-up or
Man, there's so many cool things to do now. You can do pop-ups with your friends and communities. Find a brewery to do it with, or a winery,
fair
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Get
make
creative.
sure people like what you're going to put out, right?
So when did you know, obviously just, are you looking, is there like a critical number or just a feeling you're getting that you got something?
Feedback.
Yeah.
Seeing what if people want to come back and eat it, if it's craveable,
So if you're seeing repeat returns,
yeah,
then that's your sign.
And it was great. We opened up this bar. It was right between Mizzou and Luca. All the people around there were supporting us, and then the word was getting out, and then all these other chefs started coming in from all over town, and we were delivering to all the tattoo shops and hair salons, just making sandwiches.
Plus,
and people were going crazy over them, man.
Yeah, now at this point you have 4 years of presence within the industry, within Denver, so you got friends. So, people are going to support you. They're going to try to help you out, right?
Yeah, man. It also helps. I used to be a weed dealer, so that helped back in the day.
I'm sure it did.
Everybody knew who I was.
So when you knew that you had something, when you tested the product and people liked it, when did you know it was time to start looking for your own spot? What did that process
we
look
needed
like?
to get out of the bar. The bar was in rough shape. The people it was a very rough situation.
Yeah.
So we knew we had to find our own location. We started looking around, and we found the Highlands neighborhood before it was the Highlands, man. It was just us and Lola, and it was sketchy up there. And but we were being told that was the next neighborhood that was going to pop, and we found this awesome building, and the building developer believed in me, Susan Powers.
Say it one more time.
The building developer believed in me. Susan Powers was her name.
Nah.
What up? Thank you, Susan. Yeah, so, we were nobodies. A little name coming with us, and we needed some money. We didn't have any money to get it open. She helped fund the build-out. We did that whole thing for $80,000, which is,
I was just going to say, what was the space? $80,000, it must have been a small, tight space.
We're still in it.
Yeah,
it's that 900 square feet. We laid all the tiles. We did everything.
$80,000.
$80,000.
It's hard to do that today.
Oh, man. You might be able to do that today, but not very easily.
Yes. Well, reflecting back at this time, you said you did a lot. You said you fucked up a lot of shit. Get specific. What things would you have done differently?
We didn't have any money to market or really even have employees. So it was me and my partner and one other person and friends helping out. And we went into it like fucking cowboys. We were just. And the day we opened up the door, we did $1,100 just opening the door. We didn't let it be so. We learned, of course, I was a 27-year-old passionate fine dining chef opening a sandwich shop. So I'm and it's part of the reason it's such a great sandwich shop. But now I look at it and I'm like, man, why I was such an ego. I had to, for a coleslaw, I had to bring in whole heads of coleslaw and chop them up.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't good enough out of a bag, I was using Biliese salami, which is $24 a pound to make a sandwich with,
But it worked. I think the concept was fine dining between bread, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't that what
totally.
You were going for?
That's what my partner Steve started calling. He's like, dude, you're just taking all your greatest hits and putting them in bread. And
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh man.
A lot of those flavor combinations, beautiful French brie cheese with, cranberry honey with a nice smoked turkey. And we had to make everything in-house that was possible, too, And, as we've grown a little bit, thank God we have River Bear American Meats where we don't have to make all the meat in the house anymore because it was intense to do that in such a small space and be so busy.
So
But I
even
mean, that's also what made that place so great, you know?
quality over quantity, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, well, there you get both. I mean, you get a big honking sandwich.
Yeah.
And I mean, with a side, they're $15, which is a lot of money still for a sandwich, you know? When everybody told me, I told people I was going to open up a sandwich shop and they're going to be $12, $13 a piece. Everybody told me I was fucking crazy. They're like, you can't sell a $12 sandwich in Denver. And here we are, 12 years later, still doing it.
So, I mean, what was the lesson there? What's the lesson? Extract it.
And follow your heart.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, you know? Don't. I've always cooked the food you want to cook and then cost it out and charge that. You know,
the
don't.
food you want to cook, that cost it out and charge that.
Yeah, you know, there's no reason to shortcut. You know, why take a shortcut on something if you can just, you know,
Yeah,
do it better.
I think the other lesson too is just charge what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know, like cost it out. Like if you if it's quality,
Yeah.
Then
your 30% food cost.
then get it. You know,
Yeah.
get your you know what you are owed. You know,
Yeah,
get
totally. I mean, our pastrami sandwich is $15, man. That's what it costs. It's fire pastrami
And
that we make here in Denver
you know,
with good beef and great bread, and it's just, you know, it's just a quality ingredient thing.
Yeah, I love it. And I think there's a little bit of a unique selling proposition coming here because you were doing something that nobody else was doing, high-end, fine dining between bread, right? So
Right.
you stood out. You weren't another Jersey Mike's. You
No,
know, like you
no.
weren't a Subway. Like you were a sandwich place, but like high scale. And you might not be appealing to everybody in that market, but in a city the size of Denver, which isn't the biggest city, but it's a big enough city,
Yeah.
you're going to find your niche. You're going to find your people that
Yeah,
want that. Right?
we have, and you know, the people that have found it, it's funny now that, I mean, it's 13 years, so it's in the and we're in a neighborhood restaurant too, so I saw people when you could tell they would come in separate, and then you could tell like they hooked up the night before they're getting their breakfast sandwich. The next thing you know, they're getting married, you know, and then they're pregnant. Now I'm feeding their kids.
You're
like
welcome.
I probably have like 50 couples that
That's
I can tell
awesome.
that story with that I chuckle about.